about Mysore is the fact that there is less traffic, there's less all these issues, which we have seen in Bangalore. I'm from Bangalore. So my concern is that whenever we start planning to make Mysore such a big hub, don't you think we should look at infrastructure management, and especially traffic management, as the more important aspect to avoid whatever we've seen happening in Bangalore, again happening in Mysore?
I'll give you two examples. One is the Science Park in Cambridge, and second is the Technology Park in Shanghai. Let me talk about the Technology Park in Shanghai, because that's an Asian city, all of that. What they did in the Technology Park in Shanghai, in Pudong, is before they invited any companies to come and operate, they built excellent roads, top quality roads. They made sure that there was adequate electricity. They made sure there was adequate access to water. They made sure that there were residential accommodations nearby. They made sure that there was good transportation. And then they invited Microsoft, Infosys, and Intel, and you name it, they all came there. We all went there. And it is clean, it is easy to move around there, etc. So therefore, I think given that we have some very good bureaucrats like Vijay Shankar and others, our Chief Secretary Rangnath is a wonderful person. If we can plan a little bit, let's say that in 5 years we want Mysore to to have 100 software companies of a certain size. Therefore, we can start the planning of infrastructure right today, and then hopefully we will not have the same problems that we have had in Bangalore. I don't know how many of you know, when we first moved to Bangalore, there was really no road to electronic city. So I do think that we have good people in the government. I do think that it is possible to learn from our experiences.
Thank you. And I hope we will have those kind of people involved in the decision.
Absolutely.
Sir, Dr. Narayanamurthy, I have a question here.
Yeah.
Sir, you rightly mentioned about the infrastructure management that has to be done by the government of India. Few things I'm concerned about. I'm actually from Genesis Smart Systems Private Limited, and I'm the manager IPR for the company. I noticed that, in India there is a concept of zonal division of patent office, and it actually becomes difficult, because of the recent change in the e-filing system, which has become a bit more complicated and demands more investment for small companies like us in Mysore. I think your suggestion and your expert advice to the government of India would help in basically subdividing the patent office or some kind of contact, physical point of contact, and in the state of Karnataka, basically having a capital city of Bangalore, which is compared to most of the IT cities in US. So also you talked about the road facility and the infrastructure and the telecommunication facility that has to be improved. I totally agree with you. What do you say about the patent office and its point of presence in the city of Bangalore or Mysore? Because for the whole of South, there is only one patent office in Chennai, and that has an e-filing facility, which is slightly more complicated and also demands more investment for companies like us who are very small in size.
Given that there are 283 software companies in Bangalore, that is the number given by Nasscom just now. Given that some of the multinational R&D facilities are in Bangalore, including the largest one, General Electric. Given that companies like mine have been filing, 20, 30 patents every year, given that Bangalore has Indian Institute of Science, the higher learning in the country, and Indians for management, and some wonderful engineering colleges, I agree with you that there is need for decentralization of patent filing system. And we have to learn from the example of Mr. N. Witter, who completely decentralized licensing and decision making through his STP program in early 90s, and that was a huge success. One extraordinary bureaucrat laid the foundation for the growth of this industry. So therefore, I think if we can take the example of people like Mr. Witter and apply that, I think we will be able to make life better for entrepreneurs. I agree.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Good morning, Mr. Murthy and other eminent personalities. Since the question of infrastructure on hotels was raised, so I just wanted to inform, first of all, recently there is a ITC Fortune Hotel which has come up in the city. And also I would like to inform some other good projects are already in the process in the city, where already a lot of rooms are being added. So a good 5-star hotels are now going to be present in Mysore, including this ITC Fortune.
No, I agree with you. As I said, frankly, I don't think Mysore has any of those issues. And because Mysore is also a historical place, Maharaja of Mysore used to live here. There is Krishnacharya, there is Chamundi Hill, there is Somnathpur, it's also accessible to Belur and Halepi and Srirangpatnam, the capital of Tipu Sultan. All of them are here. Therefore, I think in addition to IT, there is much opportunity for these 5-star hotels to gain from tourism and other areas. And therefore, I don't think that will be a big issue. But what I do believe is an urgent need is a 6-lane or what, as they call in America, 3-lane each side highway, which will take people from Electronic City or center Bangalore to Mysore in a couple of hours. If we can do that, I do believe that it will really accelerate.
One last question.
Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Sudhindra from BML Limited. Just yesterday we were watching on TV. There's a new president coming to India. That is USSR.
Sorry?
2012.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
2012. President of India will be Sri Narayanamurthy.
No. I think that is all speculation. We shouldn't waste our time on speculations.
Yes. All right. The questions I have is 2 portions. One is we have been talking about infrastructure. In that regard, I think we had to look into railways. May we use the forum? 80% of I think the 2-lane traffic Indian Railways has been established. So we can use this form to push the railways to complete the balance 20%. That will help us.
Well, I think, what I would say is that I would go a step further and say, if the metro system in Bangalore connects to the railway station, and then there is a train, going probably every half hour to Mysore between 6 a.m. in the morning and midnight, so that even if I'm in Jayanagar or near Electronic City, if I can take the subway or metro, not subway, metro, come to the station and quickly get onto the train, I think that is another good scheme. Absolutely.
And nowadays everybody talks about specialization. So can we sell Mysore as a disaster recovery center and replication server? Because usually what we have seen abroad and elsewhere is near a big capital or metro, a secondary town is used for disaster recovery. So can we, do you have any thoughts on that? Can
No,
you
I'll tell you, we have a very elaborate disaster recovery center, but we don't talk about it in public. For a very simple reason, the disaster recovery center should not be publicized. For example, let's say all the incremental updates to our databases in the night, at midnight, in Bangalore will get saved in some city Y. The database updates of Y will be stored in Z. Z will be stored somewhere else. And we have a place in the world where the entire database updates will be stored. You know, there will be multiple copies and all that. We don't talk about where it is stored. Because the moment you say Mysore should be the disaster recovery center, then it's very easy to come and put a bomb on Mysore and then destroy the whole thing. So my request to you is this, that maybe it is not a good idea to advertise Mysore as a disaster recovery center. I think Mysore should be known because it is a city with wonderful people, very hospitable people. It's a city with a lot of talent. It's a highly livable city. It's a city that will provide good education to the children, and it's a city that has lots of touristic spots nearby, and it's a city where you can get decent housing. I think if we can focus on those issues, that is, if we can say a youngster, you know, I mean, a young professional, he or she, at having a spouse and perhaps a kid, he or she would find this in an ideal place. I think if we can appeal to the late 20s and early 30s professional from all over the country to come and settle down in this city, because this city offers all those advantages, I do believe that we will be very, very successful in positioning Mysore as a great city. I mean, I'm sure all of you know, Business Today, at least a couple of years ago when they did the survey, Mysore came out as #1 second-tier city. So, I mean, I'm fully convinced of that, because as I said, right in 2000, we took a decision in a jiffy, and we said we'll go ahead and implement it. At that time, many people were, in my own company, were very skeptical. But today they tell me that I was a visionary, I was nothing. I mean, no visionary is nothing. It's all just a question of making some analysis and taking a quick decision. And everybody is a winner now. So,
thank you,
with that, thank you very much. And, yes.
Sir, I have a last question, sir. I'm sorry to disturb you again. Honorable sir, the Government of India has NERM, Jawaharlal Nehru Urban Renewable Movement Program or Scheme. I request you, because I have come to know from some of my colleagues that they have sufficient funds for investment, but unfortunately they are also into infrastructure, and they are unfortunately, maybe I think what have been suggested or told by somebody is they are running sort of ideas. So can Nasscom people get in touch with NERM people and expedite the process, or suggest them some ideas about investment into startup or the infrastructure in Mysore?
Well, I think it will be difficult for Nasscom to do that. I think they have so many things to do. An easier thing would be that we have very good bureaucrats in Karnataka. We have, just to name two, we have Rangnath, is a wonderful chief secretary, and then we have Madhya Shankar. If we can, let's say, the Nasscom branch of, let's say, Bangalore branch, CII, plus some of the companies can meet with them and explain to them how we can use that facility, I do believe that it will work, because for Nasscom in Delhi to do that, it will be very difficult.
Sir, my name is Ravi Shankar, Assistant Training and Placement Officer representing Malnad College in Assam. This is with regard to campus recruitment process that is being followed since last year. And I go ahead with the question.
Please.
Sir, since last year, lot of companies are fighting for day one slot. And if an institute gives day one slot to some next company, why company will not come there? In that way, the students are being denied an opportunity to have going into those companies. Can somebody
I have a very simple solution for that. If all the colleges say that, look, let anybody come, any number of companies come, let students attend the interviews of every company, but we will give them 20 days to make up their decision. That's fine, it's a free market. So why should it be that somebody goes there on first day and then he gives appointment to these people and then they cannot attend the interview on the second? I think that's all not right, that's all artificial. So the best thing is to say, allow students to attend any number of interviews from any company and give them a certain number of days to make their decision. I think that's the real free market philosophy, and that's the best way to work.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Well, I hope the organizers can. Please.
Professor Shivraj, Dean Faculty of Commerce and Management, University of Mysore. How do you visualize IT industry and BPO industry in India and Infosys in particular 25 years hence?
Well, as far as Infosys is concerned, we have said that we want it to be a place where people of different nationalities, religious beliefs, genders, and a plurality of opinion will come together and compete in an environment of intense competition, but at most courtesy, dignity, and civility to add greater and greater value to our customers day after day after day. So that's our vision. Now, what revenue we'll get to, what profitability we'll have, what market capitalization we'll have, we don't talk about it because it's all forward-looking information. On the issue of where this industry will get to, McKinsey has made a study and said that this country can get to $300 billion by 2020 if we did all the right things. If we reduce friction to business, if we develop talent, if we focused on quality and productivity, if we made it easy for our customers to visit India, if visas become easy, if it becomes easy for CEOs to travel in their private planes. There are many things that we need to do. So if we did that, we'll get to $300 billion. And they have said that there is a lot of opportunity that we have still not leveraged. For example, e-governance is one area that we have not yet built systems for. We have not yet we have not yet conquered the markets in the emerging markets, particularly in China, India, Brazil, Mexico, etc., etc. And healthcare is a huge area, particularly in the developed world, and the costs are going out of control. And therefore, I think there is a great opportunity for Indian companies to make these systems more efficient. Then there is, of course, the digital economy. We have hardly scratched the area of digital economy. And then there is the issue of, there is the area of embedded systems. I think embedded systems will go a long way, and there will be more and more and more of computerization, more and more of systems development. Therefore, I think we are still, in my opinion, still in the initial stages of exploiting the humongous opportunities that IT systems offer. So, but there will always be dips, in the short term, but we shouldn't get too much worried about it. But overall, on a trend basis, I do think that the IT opportunity will grow.
Thanks a lot, sir, for taking time out and effort to come in today amongst us and addressing the audience. I would like to now request Professor Dhananjay to present Mr. Murthy with the flow from Nasscom here. Do the honors by presenting a memento to Professor Sanjay. Before we move on to the next session, I would request my colleague Kritika to kindly come up and say a few words.
Just quickly want to take this opportunity to thank some of the people from Mysore who really made this a possibility. If you could just put up your hands where you are. Sudanma from Excelsoft. This is just not possible without him and his team. Venkat from RIIIT. Dr. Mahesh Rao. Shankar Prasad. Nagarajan from Infosys. The Wipro team. The team from SPI, Theorem, Renaissance. Akshay from our process. Satish, thank you all so much. This just wouldn't have been possible without all of you. Thank you so much.